Hi, my name is Clay Thorpe here at the Killeen Daily Herald. Today we interview Jose Segarra, who is running for Killeen Mayor. Please be sure to check out all our interviews and videos at the Center for Politics at kdhnews.com. And thank you for joining us, Mr. Jose Segarra.
It's my pleasure being here.
Why are you running for mayor of Killeen?
Well, I feel that ever since I've been here since 1990, and I have the experience to be mayor. I feel like I've grown in this community ever since I spent 10 years in the military, and then I got out here in Killeen. And I started my own business. And I serve on a lot of different boards here. I serve on the Killeen Free Clinic, on the Texas Workforce Commission Board, Mounted Warfare, where we're building a $25 million museum. I also was the Killeen Heights Rotary President last year, which is one of our biggest service organizations that we have in this community, with over 100 people in that. And so, I've gotten myself connected with a lot of the great things about Killeen. I enjoy it. I love the city. I love the parks. I'm a runner. I love to go out and run. And I'm always running around the city. One of my favorite spots is the Lions Park, and I always kid around and I say that I have the record of the longest run at Lions Park, which is 18 laps, which is 18 miles, a little bit over 18 miles.
It's a long time.
So I enjoyed it, and I think that there's so many opportunities here, and I think the other aspect of it is, as a business owner, I always start a business. When I start a business, anybody starts a business, they're always looking at the vision. You always have to have a vision, and everything kind of follows. And I know that I'm in line with the vision of the city.
There are some issues that are facing Killeen. What, in your view, are the top three issues facing Killeen, and what do you plan to do about them if elected as mayor?
Well, there's challenges with growth, and I know we've been growing over the years, and a lot of that has to do with public safety, transportation, and aesthetics, the beauty of the city. I know that those are top three issues that a lot of the citizens are concerned at. And we just got to work at it. I mean, transportation is one of the things that I think that is the city council, the new city council, is going to have to tackle. Because I kind of mentioned, as I talk to people, we want to not only build new roads, but we also have to maintain our old roads. And it's going to cost money. Right now, last year we were told by a company that comes out and does the road ratings that our rating on a scale of 1 to 100 is 82. Anything below 75 is critical. So we have to start planning on the maintenance of that road so they don't get down to 75. And we start planning the process now and figuring out how we're going to pay for it. It will not cost us that much longer because if we wait, it's going to cost us like double or 3 times more than what would it cost to maintain. So it's just figuring out ways to come up with the money to do that. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges that the council is going to have here in the next couple of years.
You mentioned transportation. What are a couple of others that are really some issues that are really affecting Killeen, and what do you plan to do?
Well, another one would be like public safety. As we grow, people are concerned, for their safety, but we need to do things that eliminate some of that threat. And right now, Killeen is actually a safe place. A lot of the issues that we face right now has to do with domestic violence. We see that a lot. And talking to the police chief, he said that 77% of the homicides that we see in Killeen are domestic violence.
Last year, 2015.
Last year, yeah. And so those are things that we need to figure out. And to me, I think that people just need things to do. You get out and you find ways to relax, to get out of that stressful environment. One of the gold mines I think that Killeen did was with the dog park. I don't own pets, but it's just an example of the possibilities that you can do. You go down by the dog park and you see people with pets out there. Well, when they're out with pets, what are they also doing? They're meeting their neighbors. When they're meeting their neighbors, they're getting to know each other, and things like that in actuality help reduce crime rate. So if you get people to get out and engage within the community, that's going to lower the crime rate in itself. And then you get other organizations to help. I know we got the Killeen Police Academy, the Citizens Academy. That's another area that we can use to help and get involved with other local organizations. Put people from the police department. Another area that I thought to is put somebody from the police department on some of these organizations like chambers or other non-profit organizations, so that they can communicate between the police department and these organizations that have large membership. And so just get them involved in that. And then the other aspect is the aesthetics of the city. A lot of people always complain about having the city look kind of run down in certain areas. We just need to do things to improve that. And I know that a lot of that has to do with us being a transit area where people come in and people get out. But what we need to do is figure out ways to connect the people so that they can start taking ownership, even if it's a temporary. You know, if people feel that they are part of the community, they will definitely start taking better care of it. But when they feel like, I don't know anything, I don't own anything, I'm just going to be here, they're really not going to concern themselves with really taking care of it. They're not going to have an invested interest like somebody that owns it. So what we got to do is get them connected to things so that they can feel like they're part of it. And when I was in the military, this is funny, but when I was in the military, I met a guy before I came to Killeen, and I told him I'm coming to Fort Hood, and he was only here for about a couple of years. And he said, Fort Hood, I love Fort Hood. And I said, why do you love it? He says, because I helped build the racetrack there. He didn't actually help. What he did was race cars there in the old track that we had on Stan Schluter. But I thought about that years later, and I said that little thing of him being able to race his cars felt him connect to the community, because he felt that he contributed to the success at that time of the racetrack. We don't have that racetrack anymore, but things are like that, you know, are things that connect people to this community.
You know, the Herald has sent several open records requests to the city and to KISD, and we're not always given that information. How do you feel about open government, and you know, what will you do to ensure the public has access to open records if you're elected as mayor?
I think it's important. I think that a lot of that is people get to feel that it's not transparent. I think there's a lot of transparency there. I think there's things that, you know, it's classified or not classified, but things that they don't want to get out because there's certain restrictions on it. But I think that when people say, especially if you're a councilman and you say, you know, there's no transparency, I say, well, we have access to anything. I mean, as councilmen, we go behind closed doors and we do reviews. When there's court cases or things like that, we go behind doors. Anything that we want to request, we get. And so, I mean, if me as a mayor, I think that that's an important part of it. You have to be in front of stories, because the newspaper or whoever it is, they're just doing their job. They're going to report on something. And you have to, if it's bad, if it's true or whatever, you have to be in front of it to make sure that they are getting the right information. Because if you don't say anything, somebody's going to say something, and it's going to be like the National Enquirer. It's like, okay, they're saying something. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to counter that? And to me as mayor, I think that is very important, that if a report comes out, whether it's good or bad, you have to come out and give your response to it. There might be times when you really can't, but you still got to kind of figure out a way to talk about it in a way, even if it's something like saying, you know, at that moment we can't talk about it. At this moment we can't talk about it because there's an ongoing investigation, which is true. A lot of times it's just legalities that we have to be careful about. So.